And I guess his keys were like in the room, and I picked them up to like wipe something down. And I guess
Which Brandon is notorious for losing his keys.
Yeah.
You and Josh.
But I could finally say
Everything.
it wasn't my fault this time.
It was not your fault.
Yeah.
Well, before we started the episode, he did throw his keys in the trash on accident. So I was like, Brandon, remember your keys are in the trash.
Who was the one? Wasn't it you? Wasn't there a guys trip where Joshua lost him in the lake or something?
Oh,
Yep.
Yeah.
Canyon Lake.
He lost his keys in the lake.
His keys. He went diving and the keys fell out of his pocket. In the seaweed and everything.
Oh, no, Josh. Wow.
that is the worst feeling, being deserted.
Oh, Lord.
Everybody was leaving and I had to. Well, Sharon and Josh took me back, but it's like, I was content. I was like, I ain't stressed about these keys. I'm done. I'm tired.
Hey everyone, welcome to Young Talk, where we are young adults talking about Christ and culture. My name is Sharon Garcia. I've got Brandon, Paris, and Micah with the funny mic. And we're just
Bro got his mic
style.
on his
You
head.
gotta get that thing
It's
off.
style.
Man. You messing up our
My fault.
moderator.
Go ahead,
It's
go
okay,
ahead.
it's okay. We gotta break the ice somehow. Today, I want to talk about platforms, and not the kind you sing on, not the kind you preach on, not the kind you tap
Get out of
dance
here
on,
with the guitar. Sorry.
but the digital platforms. This conversation could go a million different ways. There's some people that are, social media is evil. No, I love social media.
Oh yeah.
I love some Instagram and Facebook. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about digital platforms and the good, the bad. I feel like anything good can be tainted and made evil.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's get into it.
As you're talking about social media, I remember when some of y'all might not even remember this. Y'all probably not even had a profile, but when MySpace was a
I was
thing.
gonna say,
Oh,
that's what I was gonna ask. That
I'm
was
not part
my
of that.
opening question. I forgot.
MySpace.
Raise your hand if you had a MySpace.
did you? You did
No,
it? Okay.
I didn't have MySpace.
Yeah,
My mom
I didn't
would
even know
not
how to
let
use
me.
it. I was like 13. I don't know. I was
No,
young.
but
I was young.
we barely had one though. Like my sister and I believe we had to do something like make sure it was like my parents would check, make
Parents'
sure it's
approval.
clean and stuff. Because at the time you can add a song to it, so make sure the music good, the profile picture, what's your bio, so all these things. Like that's how we connected. But I felt so cool because at the time it was. When you would pose, I think it was something like it wasn't this because that's what they do now, but it was like a certain pose
Wait,
that
we
I
do
did.
that now?
Yeah, like
Nah, bro. That's like 5 years ago. You talking about the
no, but like like that, like
The
that.
light skin face?
You did it.
light skin?
It was like that, but I don't know, somehow it resurfaced. So I had a picture like that. So I felt like
You still got it? You still got
Brandon,
it?
what was your profile
it's still
photo?
on there. It's still the picture. It's on.
Okay, if we can, we're gonna pull up Brandon's profile right here.
Our production team might be
It was
able to.
something of the sort. It might have been, my hands might be different, but it was the same concept. And I have a blue. You might find it, a blue and black checkered flannel.
He said, "Ooh, I look good."
I was.
You remember your song, your profile song?
I think it was a song by Mally Music, I believe, gospel song. It's like I think it's called
God.
"I Hate You." Or something.
What? A
Oh,
gospel
somebody
song?
the devil.
I hate you?
Somebody the devil. That's a strong title too. My bad.
Wait, what was the title? I missed
Mally
it.
I Hate
Music.
You.
think,
I Hate
yeah,
You by
I've heard
Mally
it.
Music.
I got a few of his songs.
And if you haven't heard that song is fire. Man, that's what
Oh,
I.
man,
Okay,
that's
I'm sorry.
That is funny. I never had a MySpace.
Oh my
I think the first social media platform I had was, I think, Facebook. Probably Facebook.
Yeah.
I don't. Okay. I just.
She has an
Yeah.
amazing social media journey. Please share with us.
Oh man,
Your
I don't
social
know.
media
I can't
journey.
wrap myself out on here. Okay, so I just recently got onto social media.
True.
Which is crazy.
Facts.
Yes, it is. It's crazy. Everyone's always like, "Girl, why you got Instagram? Why you got Instagram?"
Your life was probably better without it. Huh?
Well, okay.
Just
Well,
finding that out.
yes, it's funny you say that. So growing up, I was always so angry at my parents. Like, dude, all my friends have social media. Like, I practically get made fun of for not having social media. And then now that I have it, I've had it for a couple months now, I've never, like, experienced so much, like, it's happiness, but also, like, anxiety. And I've never dealt with that.
it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
believe it.
And it's very, like, eye-opening, like, oh, you know what? I'm glad my parents, in a way, kept me from having to, get on social
I
media.
can't take him seriously.
I literally
My
can't
fault, my
either.
fault.
Every time he looks
Do I need to
For the
move it? Do I
listeners
need to
who
move it?
aren't watching the
Should I move
video
it?
on YouTube, his mic is on his
My fault,
hat,
y'all.
and it's just in a funny placement, and I can't take it
I'll
seriously.
find somewhere else to put it.
You might have to hold it, Micah. 'Cause you didn't know where.
Is that better?
Well,
That's
I
much better.
guess, yeah,
That
it
is-
works.
Oh,
Let me move it down some.
Micah,
looks
you just
good.
need to start bringing clothes that fit mics.
Yeah.
Right.
There
Well,
we
I'm
go.
new to this, so I'll figure it out.
This is my first time doing a podcast. Paris, you've hosted.
Yes.
What have you done with podcasts before?
Kristen Weatherly, Catherine, and I had a podcast called KPK. No
Girl talk.
explanation needed. Yeah, that was very short lived. We had like 3 episodes come out, and y'all, the most ghetto setups. We would like take our cases off our phones, like put the mics right up, like, oh my word, we would go in the closets, like, oh my goodness. But
You
no.
work with what you have. Hey,
Exactly. No, it was a good time. But I'm glad those episodes are not out anymore. So.
we could have gone back.
Oh man.
Brandon, tell us about your social media journey. You've probably been on social
yeah.
media the longest.
I have.
I
Yes.
have to call you out.
I've journeyed through like I said before, the MySpace era, and my sister and I used to, got our producer over there making fun of me too. So my sister and I, we have a cousin that she got on Facebook before us, and so we would actually make fun of her. She's like, man, nobody will get on Facebook. It's probably, it's not going to be a thing. It's not going to be a thing. And then slowly, surely, we were like, well, let's try it. So we make an account. At this time, we kind of can do it on our own. So we make an account and everything, and then what do we know? MySpace fades out. So it was like that. Then of course Instagram, and then everything. I don't have a Twitter. That's active. I actually have 2 accounts because I kept forgetting my password.
He's that guy.
And I was like, this is too much. I'm done.
I had a professor in college force us to get Twitter. She was like, if you don't get Twitter and download it and follow me, then you.
Oh, they post. I think I had a professor like that too, and they like would post quotes like every day.
No.
Sorry to interrupt,
I couldn't do it though. So the Twitter is not. Now the big one for me now. Oh man, I'm about to really expose myself. LinkedIn. It's not social media, but I like it. I like.
You can find out some stuff.
I'm so.
on LinkedIn, let me tell you.
I'm trying to get a job.
Doesn't it
I'm
tell you
old.
who views your profile?
Yes, it tells you who views your profiles.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you use it for?
So and so.
Stupid.
Connect. It's all. Wait, what happened?
That is so humbling. Oh my god.
You about to cry?
What you turning red? Paris.
Oh, I'm just like, that's really good to know now.
Because you've done it? Oh!
I love seeing what people do for a living.
That's
Oh,
funny.
Oh wow.
That's funny.
What is wrong?
That's funny.
What is happening?
Have you guys ever been stalking someone and then you accidentally like an old picture? I'm sure we've all done it.
Oh,
That's
man.
the worst. That is the worst feeling. Because then if you unlike,
It's
they're
a-
gonna see it.
Or if you
got
hand
the
it over to someone, and be
notification.
like, "Do not like
Don't
it."
like it.
And then
Don't.
be messing it up.
Bob. Like, if you go through, shit, let me see that profile.
They'll start
You don't
trying to go back.
Yes.
Don't touch, don't double tap anything. Don't just,
I'm like, I'll hold the phone.
Do
You can look
this.
from a distance.
I have to
Yeah.
show her the motion. Do this. Don't do this.
That's so funny. Yeah. Do you guys have any stalking, what's the word? Y'all help me out.
It's like
Oh my gosh, my pregnancy brain. No, I'm trying to say giftings.
Oh.
Do you guys have any giftings?
Well, clearly after that LinkedIn little scenario, I've done outed myself. Oh my goodness. No. Oh
so
my
funny.
goodness.
Oh my goodness. All right, so let's talk about I want to go back to like the positives of social media at the end, but let's kind of talk about some social media's do's and don'ts that you guys have for yourself. Where before you hit share, what's something that you kind of ask yourself, or you can be honest and be like, I don't care. I just kind of post whatever.
That's good. Okay, I have something really specific. When it comes to posting stories and adding music onto it, I'm always very careful with. I personally, okay, when you see someone's story and you see, we're supposed to be the salt and the light, right? And if I have a friend from school see me post a song that has explicit at the top, that your first connection is, oh, they listen to explicit music. How can you be seen as the salt and the light when you're posting stuff that doesn't reflect that? So I think for me, like, that's just one specific thing that I do. With any music that I try to post, I don't.
Okay,
And that's the
I have
worst.
I have a situation with that. It wasn't my fault. Okay, it was my fault. It was my fault because I didn't do my. Okay,
God.
so I if you haven't, go check out the introduction. We talk about what things we like. So, anyways, I like cars. I'm a car enthusiast, whatever. I have 2 Instagram accounts. One that deals with cars, car page. So there's this like amazing like video with this car or whatever, but unfortunately it has music on it. Well, I didn't go through the whole video. I didn't listen. I just merely like saw the video. My volume was off, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna repost that. So and so I hit repost. I shared it on my page. I don't know. I don't even remember how long it was up there.
Oh, it was up for a long
But it
time.
was.
You remember? You remember?
I was a bad friend. I was like, I ain't even gonna tell.
And like, and yeah, Sharon was like, "Hey, have you that?" And Josh was like, "That video has X, Y, and Z in it." And I'm like, "No, it doesn't." Like, I'm thinking, "No way." So I go back and listen to it. I'm like, "Oh my!" So whenever you're posting something, y'all just go through the whole video.
Be
Be
mindful.
mindful of what the video has, because man, there's some surprises. And I'm just glad it wasn't on my main profile
Oh,
page,
yeah.
because
Okay.
that would
But
have been
that's
bad.
the worst though, is when you find a song that it has the E on it, but it's like, oh, the beat is so
yeah.
good.
Did that
and
have
the
an
guys
E
are
on it?
cussing. Huh?
Did that have an E on it? I don't remember.
Brandon,
I
I'm
don't
sure it
even see-
did after your
I don't even know.
explanation.
All
know,
I
it
know is
might
I
have.
wouldn't want my grandma to hear that. It was Brandon. It was
That
bad.
was pretty rough. I'm sorry.
Micah, do you have any like guidelines or anything that you kind of say, maybe I shouldn't post that, or?
Yeah, I have a few. I like what Paris was saying. That's one of them. Like I'm in as the intro stuff. Like I'm into fitness, so I go to the gym a lot. And something that I try to do is when I, like she said, post something, I try to post something too, like that's not explicit. So I listen to a lot of like Christian hip hop. So like I would like either put something like that or gospel or something in that way, just to like kind of, not to say, oh, look at me, like I don't listen to this, but just to be like, I don't listen to that type of like worldly music and secular music. So trying to be different in a way, like how God called us. So another thing too, like with the whole fitness thing, it's kind of tricky because there's some things that, that I, back in the day, that I will post, and it wasn't like, I had to correct myself. God had to like convict me of some things, like, oh, this isn't godly. Some of this stuff can be immodest and things like that. So also having like those things go through my head, like, is this something that I want to like represent myself, or like, my church, or like me as a person, in this walk with God that I have. So another thing that even sometimes, like, I'll just be like, oh, this is cool, like I'll just post it, or something, like just, I guess, just trying to follow a certain look on the page or something like that. So another thing that I do have too is like accountability. Like godly men in my life. And I told him straight up, I'm like, man, if I ever post anything that's, a little questionable, or something that that's not, of God or immodest, like, let me know. Like, because sometimes I won't even think about it. I'll just be like, oh, this is cool, let me just post it. So having that accountability, yeah, to like people to like look out for you, because the last thing I want to do is like post something, and nobody, say something to me, and they'll be like, oh, do you see what Michael posted? Like go behind your back and like talk about it. Like, why don't you just tell me straight up?
Yes.
So,
That's good.
yeah.
That is really good. Yeah. Do you guys ever find yourself scared to post something because it may be offensive, or do you just not even
Yes.
go there?
I got one. No, I personally never post anything political because I mean, politics. That's just it's so
It's messy.
complicated. You don't want to
Yeah.
offend anyone. Not that you're trying to please everybody, but
It's
it's just something that you just I don't know. That's just for me personally. I try not to post anything. I mean, but if it's based on my beliefs, that's different. But yeah, that's
Yeah, if I have a post and I'm typing it out and I'm constantly erasing it, erasing it, and because I'm
Yeah.
because I'm like, is this right, or like I'm how do you call it? I'm going back and forth with it. I just call it that. Going back and forth with it. I'm unsure, and I'm kind of like having this thing about it. I'm not gonna post it. If it's doing all this to me, then adding all this extra stuff, I'm not gonna post it. It's just not worth it.
yeah, that's good.
Even that's basically what you're saying with political things, and I just leave it alone. There's
Yeah.
no point. I mean, but if even if I know that something, maybe somebody's going through a situation, or I've been through something, and it's been with someone, and they're connected with me, I won't post something that's like throwing shade, or it's funny how people that were your friend,
Oh,
like you know what I'm
yeah.
saying, like. I think at a point we gotta just get mature about things like that. In my opinion, like
Yeah.
it just doesn't need. Some things just do not need to be on Facebook or social media. Period.
Yeah,
Like
that's true.
I agree, especially
call
with
them, text them, sort it out that way.
yeah, especially with like the political stuff or anything of that nature. Like I've seen relationships like be destroyed because of something that was posted on the internet, and it's just like, come on,
worth it.
yeah, like even like with different like political things, like some people will try to like pride themselves or like when the whole campaign and stuff was going around. Oh, this is who I'm going for. If you go for this person, then I can't be cool with you.
Yeah.
Like, bro,
Yeah, I've
what?
seen
Like,
that. Like, yeah,
or like they'll
like,
just, or even I've seen like Christians in a way too, like be prideful of who they're going for. Like, oh, this is who I'm going for, and if you going for this person, then like it's just
Yeah.
it just causes division.
It's
So
negative.
so it's just like I try to stay away from it. From the most part, I think like even like the only like stuff political that I'll like probably talk about is like abortion, just because that's like a part of my testimony in a way, like being adopted. When I could have been aborted, like it's a testimony that I like to share. So that, and even with something like a while back, sometimes I would post like little videos from like about secular music, because that's something that God delivered me from. So like when it comes in, like when it's about my testimony, like I'm not afraid to share it. So that's why I'll post like little things like, oh, like this might help someone. So, and there's things that I posted. I've gone on little rants here and there, maybe about abortion or about just secular music. And you'd be surprised how many people like slide up and be like, man, like where'd you get this from? Like that helped me out. Trying to, it's not in a way to let me post this so I can show
Bash
people,
someone.
to bash someone, but it's more of a way to encourage or to try to get them to see a different perspective.
Yeah, I think, like what you're saying, like your intentions. What are your intentions when you post? Like, am I posting this to get someone riled up and get them to in my comments?
Some people like that. They like
Some
that
people
stuff.
like that. Some people like the controversy. It's
Take
not
it off
for-
of social media. Do it in person.
Have
It
a
just causes
conversation
division.
over a cup of coffee. It's just better.
Let's be civilized.
Yeah. How do you guys? Well, first off, I'll say, have you guys ever dealt with an online hater? Have you ever had any mean comments?
Like for real hater or just like
Just anything.
Oh yes, I had a girl, junior year. She just did not like me. Like this girl, I would go as far as say she hated me. She literally took a picture of my car, posted it, blasted it all over her social media, and was like, "This girl can't drive. Why does she have a license? She doesn't even, blah, 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 blah. This little preppy girl." Like, literally just completely blasted me. And I had no idea because I didn't have her on any social media. So, yeah, I had that happen. Wow. Not a fun experience.
What in the world?
couldn't drive it with. No, I'm playing.
Yeah,
I'm
did you
just saying.
park? Why'd she say that?
Out of all things, she said she can't drive. Like, you hit her car or something? Like,
No, I didn't. This girl just, don't even get me started. Lord God help me. But anyways, yeah.
Brandon, do you ever have any
I'm
haters?
really trying to think. Like I don't. You think with all the social media platforms I have, Somebody
Any
probably would
bullying
have
on
said something.
MySpace?
Probably was.
Have you ever been a bully?
No. Oh, no. Man, that would be sometimes I want to be keyboard warrior. And type them
Sometimes
things.
it's so nice to type out your comment that you actually want to say,
Oh yeah.
and then you just delete it.
You just delete
Yeah.
it.
Just delete, and then you feel like you've said
being
it,
the
but,
bigger
you
person,
know,
like, let me
yeah.
just-
Like, man, sometimes I
There's
don't
something
want to
about
be the
it.
bigger person, Micah. Sometimes I
I
want to
feel you,
send
brother.
that message or post that thing. You know. But yeah, no, I honestly can't think of a time when that has happened to me.
Yeah, I can't think of
No.
much either. Maybe like little trolls here and there, but it's not like bad. It's just like
Yeah.
my bros, it'll be like,
These
you
times
know,
are
Yeah.
crazy.
yeah.
Nothing that's gonna hurt my feelings. I had an experience a couple, I guess it couldn't have been too long ago because I don't even think this feature is that old. But I had someone send me a message on Instagram, a private message, and it was something really weird. And I didn't even really know her that well. And then it was late at night. It was probably midnight, but I saw my phone light up. So I just checked it and I saw it was a message from this girl. I didn't even I was too tired to even read it. Like my mind wasn't there yet. But then the next morning I woke up, grabbed my phone, and it said this message has been, unsent?
Unsent,
And I
yeah.
was like, man, what did she say?
Oh my goodness, that's the
Have you
worst.
guys ever
Really?
had that? Like where someone has unsent a
Oh, yeah.
message?
Yes, I just recently posted a video, like a little reel talking about like my relationship with God. And this girl had messaged me, and I have been so busy all day. But it was like she was asking, like, "Hey, I'm in this situation. You know how? You know, can you give me advice?" And so I went back to respond to her. I saw like that she messaged me, like you said, but I waited because I was busy. And she unsent it, and it broke my heart. So y'all, you want to know what I did? I went to her Instagram, commented in her on her post, and I was like, "Girl, I saw your DM, like just
Yeah,
whatever. I
resend it.
saw it because my Instagram wasn't letting me DM her because it was like a private account or
Privacy,
whatever.
yeah.
And so I was like, in her comments, like, "Girl, I saw it. Just give me a second." But yeah, I have had people unsend stuff. So
Yeah, that's crazy. So going back to the positive now, I feel like we've touched on a little bit of the negative of social media, of how like it can be just so controversial sometimes. How can we use social media, or what advice would you give to someone with social media to spread the love of God, just to promote Christianity and promote the love of God? What advice would you give someone, or boundaries would you set?
I would say just be authentic. Like just be authentic and like I don't know if this will come off wrong, but don't do too much. Like sometimes like when it comes to, the Christian side of social media, I feel like there's some people that might do it for like the views or the likes, like, and even with like social media, there's some people that say, oh, like those people, they don't know what they're talking about, this and that, but good can still come out of that, because as long as they're like preaching and like telling the truth, like truth of what the word says, then I feel like it can go a long way to help someone.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask to repeat the question one more time.
oh Lord, Brandon.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on with me tonight.
What
I can't-
advice would you give, or what would you say would be a good way to use your social media platform for good?
Man, promote positivity. It could come in the form of a scripture. It could come in the form of really anything. But I think that we have to recognize that we have the whole world like right at our fingertips. So it's like you have an opportunity to shed light. Make someone laugh. If there's a post that you like that someone's posted and it's positive, hey man, this affected me in a positive way. I love what you're doing, X, Y, and Z. I think one of the things I like to do is watch those comical like preaching videos, whatever that some people may do. Some of them a little too carried away, but
Yeah.
Those
I
are the
like
best.
I like to send those to people that I know that are having rough days.
That's good.
Like I send those like comic but they have a meaning in that that
The
I have
power
Mhm.
of a meme.
yeah
There is power.
For real.
like these videos like even though the guy might be comical with it, there is like there's actual like word in there, and I'm like, man, like I know so and so may need this, so I send it as like, hey, laugh at this, but also I know what you're going through. They have a scripture in here that's pertaining to what you're doing. So I'm thinking about all this, and like I get a man, thank you for sending that. Man, it's funny, but man, it was very relevant to what I'm going through, and so I try to be light with it because with social media it can be overbearing, as it is with you know. But yeah, just whatever way you can, just share, spread positivity
Yeah.
with it. You have the tool to do so.
Yeah. I think bouncing off of what Micah said, in a video one time, Kaylee Bernard was talking about how the world doesn't need more influencers. So basically, I think just being yourself on social media and not trying to, like she said, kind of be another influencer and being authentic, like it can go such a long way. And I think if you get in this headspace like, oh, I'm gonna be the next, influencer, be the next, whatever. Sorry, I'm trying to hit you there, Brandon. Yeah, not trying to be the next influencer. That if you get in that headspace, then you get caught up in comparison and anxiety of, oh, I don't look like her, I don't act like him, all these different things. So I think just like what Micah said, just being authentic is so important.
Yeah, that's so good. Man, we talked the good, the bad.
She attacked
the
my car
ugly.
page. I can't believe it.
Listen.
Brandon, you're an influencer.
Yeah, bro.
Oh my goodness.
I can't believe that. That's on record too. I'm
That's
just
so
kidding. I'm
funny.
just kidding.
A random thought that I just had. What do you think about Christians on dating websites?
No, absolutely not. I personally, it's a no for me. I
But I feel like I think I don't think you should. But I feel like a lot of people use people still use Instagram. Like
I met my
that's
husband
true.
on Instagram.
I'm gonna say there's nothing wrong with it.
yeah, I don't think.
I mean,
okay, go ahead.
go for it.
Oh, I was gonna say like it just it depends what
Okay.
app or what dating. If you go like on like
Yeah,
a
like
one
what we
like a
talking
certain
about.
app like where a lot of like hookups happen like.
I think it
And-
goes back to the intentions.
Yeah, maybe
what
if
are
you're
your
like, I don't
intentions?
know, what's that one like Christian Mingle? I don't know, like those little dating apps. I mean, I don't know. I guess obviously that's something I feel like you should talk to your pastor about or leadership for sure before you decide to make that decision. And also like people like trying to rush God's gift for them. I don't think there's nothing wrong with and this is just me personally, like Instagram, like reaching out to someone, trying to make a connection and maybe,
hey,
like
You
just
cute.
going,
You
yeah,
kind of cute.
yeah, like, and then like seeing if it, I mean, like obviously pray about it, go on a date and see if you like that person. But if someone's just using it as like a hookup thing, then
Yeah.
You kind of really hit it. What I was gonna say was just behind intentions, but also it's kind of the whole thing where technology advances, things advances. There's new ways of doing the same old things we used to do. There's just new tools to be able to do it, and I think that just broadens way of connecting with someone. I mean, again, like you got to be careful, with your intentions,
Yeah,
but if there's what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
girl that's
Nah, for
just
sure.
that profile picture, or I'll just be safe with it. She quote that scripture on her. she
Yeah.
got the scripture on her. Yeah. Or she's singing. She got the the video for her singing. I don't know. Then hey, just you reach out and bless you, sister. Type thing,
Yeah, well, I feel like too that like even there's people that might be like, well, there's nobody like. I think people are like in a box, like, oh, if
Yeah.
this person's
Yeah,
in
in the
my
box.
area, then that's the only people like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? But you have to realize there's so many people,
Times have
out in
changed.
the world.
Social media is an
Yeah,
outlet,
yeah. Obviously, I don't think you should just go on a like text every person, like every
Right,
girl,
yeah, that
like
little
if you're gonna try to like pursue someone,
A real relationship.
just do it once. So yeah, like just try one. So
Yeah, that's good. I like that. Intentions.
that's it.
Being intentional. That's good. That's a Travis Green song. Y'all heard it? I call Brandon Travis Green because he just sings. He's got a smooth voice like Travis Green.
I don't know why they disrespect that man like that.
Not even.
Travis Green, if you're watching, no, I'm just kidding.
Hey everyone, we hope that you liked today's episode. Make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell notification to know whenever we have our next episode come out. And also, do not forget to follow our First Church Instagram, which is First Church YA.